Recently some info has leaked about the iPhone 11 to the internet. We can see in this picture the frame has been leaked so that we can have an idea about what will the iPhone 11 looks like when Apple announced it. And all speculation was true. They will seek for triple camera setup, just like Huawei and Galaxy phones. And the rest of the phone will be similar to the iPhone XS or the X. No major changes in the design, just the camera setup. So let's talk about the camera setup now. Because if those leaks are true, iPhone 11 will be the first iPhone to feature a triple camera setup. And how Apple plans to put the camera setup on the iPhone is very tricky, and it is not the most beautiful thing you can ever imagine from Apple. Let's discuss first all other manufacturers, Samsung and Huawei. How do they set up the camera lenses in their phones? The Galaxy S10 have all the camera setup aligned horizontally next to each other, and they are on the center of the phone, which is simple and beautiful. Huawei placed the camera setup in the center of the back in a square setup, which is totally good and very nice. The Huawei P30, which looks similar to the iPhone XS design in terms of the camera setup, they placed it on the top left corner, vertically aligned. So when you come to your mind, how Apple will plan to put the third camera in their phones is just so simple by placing the third camera under the camera setup. They went for the Huawei Mate 20 design. They took the square setup and they put it on the top left corner of the phone. And the square is not very small, it is very big. And one more thing in this square setup, the lenses inside, the camera inside the setup is not aligned perfectly. You can see here in this picture that they look like a triangle here. Some leaks as well is Apple's planning to put a dark coat so that they can cover this triangle. But this issue could be solved, but the big square camera setup on the back looks very ugly on the iPhone. So I don't think Apple will release such a thing. And if they didn't release the triple camera, then they will be very late to the camera race, which Samsung and Huawei is dominating in this case. Maybe they will distinguish the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Plus. The iPhone 11 will have dual camera and the iPhone 11 Plus will have the triple setup camera. Because I think what held Apple in this case is that they cannot put much hardware inside the small case or the small shell of the iPhone 11. If you look inside any iPhone, you will see that it is totally crowded inside. Even the battery is just split into 2 or 3 parts, just to save some space. And what about the notch, the front-facing notch and the front-facing camera setup? They didn't update it, and it is the same size from the iPhone X, iPhone XS. So probably they should update this camera setup or the face recognition hardware to make it even smaller than before and to save some space. And very recently, a patent has been served or was discovered by some people, patently Apple. This patent has been granted for Apple recently, and it talks about a fingerprint sensor on the screen. The technology is totally different than what Samsung and Huawei is using, but I think Apple is going back again for the fingerprint sensor. Which is good, but I don't think that will be in the prime use for the iPhone 11. Maybe we'll see it in the future iPhone, maybe. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching.